Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lexi, and today we're going to be showing you a not so new Chanel handbag that I recently got, and kind of the review, what fits, etc. Initial impressions, because we all know I haven't used it. Where am I gonna go? But before we dive into that, I promised you guys I would always be 100% honest and transparent with you, and I fully intend on remaining true to that. So in this spirit of being fully honest and transparent, I just kind of wanted to elaborate on some struggles I've been having lately, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are feeling similar to me, and if this can help anyone in any way, then it's worth it to me. So I think that quarantine is hard enough. If you're like me, your whole life has been uprooted, you're transplanted to a new area. Like, I'm not in my home, I'm not in my regular surroundings. I don't necessarily always feel comfortable. I didn't bring all my clothes, I don't have all my things. So it's difficult. Add that in with what's going on in the world, the death toll, how many people are struggling, how much severity is involved with this entire virus and pandemic, and the uncertainty as to when it will go back to normal. And it's a struggle for anyone. And recently I've been seeing a lot of things surrounding weight and people making jokes about how they're gonna comp like the quarantine 15. I don't find that funny. I do think it's a struggle for everyone, and I think maybe people are making jokes because they're sincerely concerned about it. But to be very honest, and this is not something that I share very publicly at all, I've been struggling with an eating disorder since I was 14 years old. That's when I can remember. Probably before then I had body positivity issues and I had struggled a lot. But I sincerely remember going into high school as a 14-year-old. So I had just ended 8th grade. I had a semi-severe health-related issue when I was 10, and the period of 10 to 14, I gained a lot of weight because I couldn't exercise as regularly. I was on medicines that I thought made me gain weight, but in all honesty, it was probably the depression I was facing from this illness that had penetrated my life. We don't need to get into all of that, but I stopped eating the summer going to high school. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months, and anyone that knows, that's incredibly unhealthy, and I became possessed by this internal desire to be skinny. Everyone in the media is skinny. It wasn't until recently that we started coming out with the real campaigns that they're not editing. And I still think it's a genuine issue in media, but if you don't want to hear about this, I'll put in the description box below, or you can fast forward to the part where I reveal the Chanel handbag, because I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it is a conversation I've had with a lot of people. So I think if this story can help anyone, it's worth it. And if you have anything negative to say, please just refrain, because I do not want any negativity surrounding this topic, not just for me and how fragile I am at this moment, but for everyone else. This is not something to joke about. It's a real problem. I wrote my entire college thesis on the objectification of women and how it's causing us to really hate our bodies and to spiral out of control within eating disorders, whether it be anorexia, bulimia, etc. And there are a lot of deaths associated with eating disorders, so it's not funny by any means. But I struggled all throughout high school and college with this twang inside of me that said I always need to be skinny, and the easiest way for me to do that was to just not eat. It's a whole story. It very much affected my body in a negative way. And not only my body, it affected my mind in such a negative way. And I've struggled with, body positivity and anxiety surrounding calories and food for honestly as long as I can remember. So when I'm finally starting to feel healthy and feel like myself, and I'm eating regularly and I'm exercising, well, walking is a means of exercising, but I walk a lot in New York City. And then fast forward, I'm just feeling like healthy and like I got this, like I've finally shaken this eating disorder that has possessed me for the past 11 years. We're thrown into quarantine and I can't leave the house. And I understand that that is necessary, and I am by no means trying to say that we shouldn't be quarantined or anything like that. I don't even want to get into that. I'm just saying like how I, as a recovering anorexic, am dealing with this quarantine. And it's been very hard because I can notice that I'm not doing as well. There have been those negative thoughts that are creeping back into my mind that I shouldn't be eating as much because I'm not doing as much. It's hard for me to sit at a desk literally all day, every day doing work without being able to, go to the gym or walk around New York City and find things to do that get my mind off of it. I am having a hard time in quarantine, and I think anyone else with a negative connotation of food or a negative relationship with food probably is as well. And I just wanted to quickly run through some things that I've found helpful so that if you're actively trying to recover and get better and stay healthy, maybe this will help you too. Again, I'm not a healthcare, I didn't even say this before, but I'm not a healthcare professional, so if you think I'm wrong, I very well could be, but these are just what work for me personally, so take it with a grain of salt. But for one, I think walks outside are very important. Just being able to get fresh air and understand that there is a life outside of your home. So if you can take a walk in a safe place whilst also adhering to social distancing guidelines, I highly recommend it. I'm lucky enough to be at a home where there is like a stationary bike in the basement, so I've been going on bike rides, just trying to stay active because I think it makes me feel better mentally and physically. It helps stay healthy. I'm also just trying very hard not to limit myself. My whole mindset with food is like anything in moderation. Because if I start looking at the calories, I get obsessive. I start counting calories. I start obsessively working out to negate the caloric intake. It's just a mess. So I've just been eating when I'm hungry, stopping when I'm full, eating 3 meals a day, trying to stay healthy, but also not being obsessive with what I'm eating. Like my boyfriend's dad brought home pizza the other night for dinner. I ate pizza. It's not healthy. But if I start considering all of those aspects, I think the anxiety surrounding food paired with the uncertainty of our world right now is going to have a massively large negative impact on my life. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's hard. It's hard not to fall back into the routine of not eating or doing unhealthy things to my body, but I want to be better. I want to get better. So, if I feel those negative thoughts creeping in, I'll meditate, do some yoga. I've been big into Nintendo Switch lately. Love it. Highly recommend. Just keeping your mind active. Because I think when you're sitting there with like nothing to do but think, and that's a lot of people in quarantine, you can start to obsess over those like little thoughts in your head that tell you you're not good enough, or you're not skinny enough, not pretty enough, whatever it may be. And they can start to take over your life. And if you're continuously staying busy and staying positive and doing things to proactively make your life better, then it's not as easy for those negative thoughts to start creeping in. So that's just kind of my take. I think it's probably a relatable feeling that I'm having and experiencing. So I just wanted to get that out there so that if you're feeling this way, you're definitely not alone. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm more than open to a conversation. I'll do everything I can to help. But just keep in mind, I'm not a professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor, nothing like that. So that conversation will be purely as a form of support. But also I encourage you to get professional support as well. I have done that. There's absolutely no shame in doing it. So that's just my little piece and my quarantine diary for the day. I hope that it's at least somewhat helpful. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. That's just my story and that's how I'm feeling, and I know other people are feeling like that too. So wanted to let you know that I'm here for you and you're not alone, and I'm 100% genuine in that. So with that out of the way, and back to my traditional channel mission of exploring the world of luxury. It kind of falls in line with staying healthy as well. In my road to becoming more mentally and physically healthy, I'm probably decreasing my financial health a little bit in quarantine because online shopping is real. Or like scrolling through Instagram, resellers, etc. And yeah, it's a very much obsession of mine. So I guess it's better to obsess over that than my body. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So there's a story behind this bag, and if you know me and you've watched my videos, you know that I previously had this bag, got it in Paris, had a subby, hi Alice, love her, that very much wanted this bag, so I sold it to her, fully anticipating that I would be able to get it again in the future, and I had already like spent so much money in Paris. So I just sold it and was like, I'll worry about it again. Then I sold a bunch of other things, and I was ready to repurchase this bag. And, you know, pre-quarantine era, I went into the store and they said there were none of these bags in the US, and it would be like months before I could see it. So I was like, all right, well, there goes that dream. But, you know, whilst in quarantine, I've had a lot of time to explore the deep web, and I did find this bag pre-loved. And the bag I'm talking about is the Chanel Gabrielle backpack in black aged calfskin in the size small. And just quickly, I'll give you the measurements because there's not like a ton of information on this bag online. And when I knew that I wanted it, I had just seen a bunch of Instagram pictures and I knew it was like the Gabrielle style, but I didn't know that there were other sizes and other options and the pricing, etc. So according to Google, the Gabrielle backpack in size small is 23 by 22 by 10 centimeters. So I don't know, if you're US citizen like I am, you probably have no idea what that means because it's not in inches, but you know, you can do the math, I believe in you. So there also is the medium option, which is 27.5 by 24 by 11 centimeters. And what I love about this bag is the mixed metals. So there's like the ruthenium CC, and then it features like all 4 hardwares on the straps. So there's the aged gold, the silver, and the ruthenium. And it's just so pretty. So one thing I did want to note too, because I don't think a lot of people know this, is the aged calfskin changes from season to season. So I got this bag and from an Instagram seller, and she told me that This is from 2018. So it's more of like a puffy, less aged calfskin than ones I've seen before. It's not as shiny. It looks like it'll hold its shape better. And overall, it looks newer. It's not as aged. But it does still have that age effect, which I really like. And then because there's like a small tiny scratch here, I was able to get some additional money off. I don't even think you're going to be able to see it. Maybe you will. It's like right around here. Ew, ignore my nails. Oh. But anywho, this currently retails in the US for $3,600 before tax, and I was able to get it for around $3,200 with all fees and everything included. So I think that's a good deal for a bag that's in this condition. I saved about $700 when everything's said and done, so love that for me. That's a great deal. And I haven't used this at all because like I said, where am I gonna go? But I have tried it on and looked in the mirror and admired her because she's beautiful. And I just love this bag so much. So we're just gonna quickly go over some potential pros and cons because like I said, I haven't used the bag, so I can't like genuinely give you my pros and cons because like, how can I do that without using it? I can't. But I would say the first pro is how much it fits for its size. And I'll quickly, I filled it just to play what's in my bag for you guys. But we have Louis Vuitton clay, my coin card holder from Louis Vuitton, which just, what an excellent color, truly. It comes out more like teal online, but this is like the best shade of blue I've ever seen. Highly recommend if you can get your hands on it. Also have my Chanel zipped card holder, which has nothing in it. My Louis Vuitton 4-key holder, which Jerusha just unboxed this. Love that. We're twinning. And then we have 2 pochettes because we all know I'm a big fan of the mini pochette. And that's it. But inside is just this red color with a slip pocket in the back that goes like pretty much to the bottom of the bag. Like I can fit most of my hand in there and I just have an authenticity card in there. This is what it looks like empty. It still maintains its structure, which I love. I do semi-wish this had feet because I feel like I'm going to destroy this bottom portion, but I could always get it repaired from Chanel. But it is this smooth calfskin leather, which will scratch, I'm sure. But, you know, I used to be obsessive over keeping things like perfect and pristine, and don't get me wrong, I am still very careful with my bags because they are truly my children. But I've come to the conclusion that if I'm going to spend an arm and a leg and like sell my firstborn child to get a purse, then I need to enjoy it and I need to use it and I need to not freak out if something happens to it, because at the end of the day, it is just a bag. And if quarantine has taught me anything, if this pandemic has taught me anything, it is that there is so much more important things in life than a purse. Granted, this gives me joy, and I very much enjoy it, and I'm having fun with it in quarantine, but it's not the end of the world if something happens to it, truly. It's not that big of a deal. But that's just this quick little Chanel bag reveal. I hope that this video has been semi helpful, or at least if you fast forwarded through all of my, you know, personal life story problems and gotten just to the bag reveal. I hope that this has been like a little bit of a transplant from the current state of things and allowed you to focus your attention on something mindless like a bag reveal. And has helped at least somewhat, because at the end of the day, that's all I can really do, because filming is hard in general. And it's incredibly hard in quarantine when I'm sitting in a house where you can literally hear everything. Like, for example, I got interrupted by my boyfriend earlier, and had to stop filming for a minute because I could hear him downstairs with the dog or yelling up to me about something. And it's just, you guys don't want to hear that, you know? But again, I'm staying true to you and staying incredibly honest because, you know, no one's perfect and I'm struggling, and I'm going to tell you that I'm struggling, but I'm still going to try to put out content for you guys because I love you. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and all that jazz, but I'll see you in my next video, and thank you for watching and listening. Love you.